So I spent some time last week to clean up the shop. And I've got to tell you, I'm really happy with how it's looking. I like a nice clean workbench. Love that. Ah, yes, it's a good feeling. So I thought I'd check in with you with an update on this 2007 Chevy Tahoe. Number one question on the video was how many miles are on it? And that's a really good question, so let's find out. Looks like 137,945. The other really popular question was, Eric, why didn't you do a wet test? Simply because that was a video for a test on a leak down, not for compression testing. There's another video for that. Also, personally, I only bought the tester just so that I could show you how to use it. I normally just take my compression tester and take the Schrader valve out and run compressed air straight into the cylinder while it's at top dead center and listen for where it's going, because for me the most important information that I need to know is whether or not it's coming out the top part of the engine where I can just remove a cylinder head, or if it's going out the bottom and the end of the engine and I need to get into it a little more. So for me it's like this or that. I was a flat rate tech for years, and let's just say a whole lot of the science that goes into auto repair I have done my best to try and trim down to make as efficient as possible. It's just my method. I'm sure you've got yours, and I respect that. So, show me the same courtesy. Guess what showed up today? Look at this thing. You know, when I looked this thing up online, they said it had 10 miles on it. And looking at it right now, I believe it. I got catalytic converters and everything. The owner decided that he also wanted to replace the transmission in addition to the engine. I was not opposed to that. But, geez, man, I mean, this thing is gorgeous. This is not like, and just in case you're wondering, yes, this is from a different salvage yard than a Dodge engine. And I could not be happier with what I'm seeing here. I mean, this thing is complete. I've never seen a salvage yard like unplug stuff. Look. I mean, I'm going to have to do very, very little. It even got an ECU. Come on. But it was quite a challenge getting it off of that pallet. Another thing I cleaned out is there used to be a Nissan Sentra sitting here, which is not going to get fixed. It's going to go away and get parted out. It's been sitting here for a while, so I got some open space. So the next part of the plan is to get this thing ready to come out. Got some other work that I'm doing today, but I will dig into this at the end of the day and basically get myself to a good place so that when I come back here next week, I'll be able to do this relatively simply. The other question is why I was concerned about this brown residue inside this oil cap. To me, it looks like moisture. And you can even see the condensation up in there. Now that could mean that there's just a lot of condensation inside the engine. And remotely it could also mean that there is a coolant leak into the oil in the engine. And whenever coolant and oil mix, it usually makes this yucky milkshake looking stuff here. Pretty much moisture, when it combines with oil, turns into this. And anytime you see moisture in oil, yeah, yuck. Another popular question was, why did this happen? Yeah, at 137,000 miles, he did tell me that he tows with it. I don't know what kind of maintenance schedule he's on or anything like that, so that might have contributed to it. There have been several people in the comments that say that this is a common problem with this engine. I honestly don't know, but I'm going to find out. So I'll get this one out, and I hope to, at the end of this series of videos, pop that piston out on number 6 and get a look at it and see if my suspicions about broken rings are correct. Time will tell. Okay, got a couple hours into it. I had other work that was coming in today, but I decided to stay a little late and get a head start on next week, where I hopefully get this all swapped out in one day. And yes, I did turn the crank bolt on the new engine, and it turns beautifully. In fact, I think the new engine only has about 10 miles on it, which I'm very excited about. Here's the stuff. And for those of you wondering, yes, I did get the Civic engine block in today, so lots of things. They even came and picked up my waste oil, which was nice. So I'm all environmentally friendly, but here's what you came to see. And I did a similar thing. The other one, I'm trying to keep the AC intact so I don't have to open it up. But I was really happy to see that all I did was disconnect some of the wiring. So I just disconnected that over there. And you know, it may be too early to say this too, but I gotta say that, man, I like working on this Chevy better than I like working on the Dodge. And you know, anybody that knows me knows that I haven't thought too much of GM products for quite some time. And at least as far as working on this one, I'm digging working on this truck. I haven't done anything underneath yet, but I got the AC compressor broke loose. I got the coolant out, obviously. Flipped the AC condenser up. This was just too convenient. Look at this. All I did was knock the hinges loose here, the hinge assemblies, and took the strut rod off. And this way I didn't have to take the hood completely off. But it just so happens this pole is in my shop and it's just the right spot, so I'm just going to leave it like that and use that to hold the hood up. And especially when I jack it up, it's not going anywhere. I just have to be careful when I bring it back down. But this is it. That's what I got so far after a couple hours of taking front bumpers and stuff off. And like I said, it was actually easier to get to this point than it was on the Dodge. So yeah, score 1 for GM on this one. And I like how the whole fuse box came out. Check this out. You can just take this whole thing out of here, which I thought was kind of a cool design. I worry about the connections under here, but I mean, this was kind of smart. I mean, they allowed for several different configurations of fuse boxes and wiring harnesses. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. You can also see that this takes up a little bit less room than the Dodge did. The Dodge was probably about, well, almost 2 feet longer. So I got a little more wiggle room up there. Alright, well, you know who I am, Eric the Car Guy. You can always visit me at EricTheCarGuy.com or follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Then on Sundays we got the whole podcast thing, most Sundays anyway, unless there's something going on. I love having you here. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay dirty. See you later.